Hi friends, hope you are doing well. In today's video, I'm trying to discuss on literature review. Specifically, I to discuss on what is literature review and how can we conduct it. While talking about literature review, generally a literature review, which is a search and evaluation of the available literature in the given subject or chosen topic area. So while conducting literature review, we need to search the literature properly, and we need to after getting the literature, or after searching the literature, we need to evaluate the literature properly, because we need to collect the authentic literature for the review. That is the key concern of literature review. And after getting the authentic literature from the review, we need to visit it properly, we need to read it properly. And after visiting the literature, after reading the literature, we need to develop a piece of academic writing. We need to develop a piece of academic writing, which generally includes current knowledge on a specific topic. Likewise, that academic writing also includes practical findings of different scholars' product or different research work, different theories, different methodology, etc. So, while conducting literature review, we need to develop an academic product capturing current knowledge, capturing practical findings, capturing different theories, capturing methodological contribution, etc. We need to capture these things while writing the literature review. There is one big question, foundation question, which we need to give the answer while doing literature review. Why do a literature review? That is the crucial question for us. There are so many reasons of conducting literature review. The first, it helps to demonstrate our knowledge of a topic. Literature review helps us to demonstrate our knowledge in our specific research agenda, in a specific research topic. It also helps to identify what has been done before and are there any gaps. While doing any sort of research, we need to identify the research gap at first. We need to identify the gap in knowledge or deficiency in knowledge. And to identify the knowledge gap, to identify the deficiency in knowledge, we need to conduct a literature review. So this one is another basic reason of conducting literature review. Likewise, literature review also provide background information for the inquiry. It also helps to develop the research agenda. While writing the background of the study in any research topic, we need to elaborate the research topic, we need to develop the argument, we need to develop the claim, and while developing argument, while developing claim, while elaborating the research content, we need the literature. So, literature review provides the background to our inquiry, and it also helps to set out a research agenda. Likewise, it also helps to locate our project within the current debates and viewpoints. What are the current debates? What are the viewpoints? To help the debate or to develop the argument or to identify the different viewpoints, literature review help us. Likewise, literature review also support us in reviewing and refining our resource topic. After conducting the literature review, we can refine our research topic, we can refine our research questions, we can refine our hypothesis. So, literature review support us in reviewing and refining our research topic, questions, hypothesis, etc. It also helps us to analyze our findings and discuss them with rigor. When we collect the data from the field, we analyze the data by using our perception, And after analyzing the data through the perception of the researcher, we need to analyze the data with the help of literature, with the help of theory, and for that, we need to conduct a literature review. So literature review help us to analyze our findings and discuss them with rigor. Now, we need to discuss on what are the sources of literature. What are the key sources of literature? Basically, there are three specific sources of literature: primary sources, secondary sources, and tertiary sources. Regarding primary sources, there are so many documents we can collect. Reports, different current research reports. These are the primary source of literature. Thesis or dissertation, current thesis dissertation written in the specific agenda, specific area. This thesis, these are also the primary source of the literature. And current conference proceedings, these are also the primary source. And we also use the government publications, government policy, etc., as a primary source of the literature. Likewise, in the case of secondary sources, we can use books to develop the concept regarding the content. We can use the journals and we can use the journal articles to develop the conceptual part, as well as the to develop the methodological or to develop the other content part. We use the journal articles. We can use the newspaper, etc. These are the secondary source of the literature. Likewise, we can use the tertiary source as a literature. We can use the indexes. If we see the book, at the end of the books, we can find the different indexes, and we can use those indexes to find the different literature related to our study. Or we can visit the abstract of different studies, or we can use the encyclopedia to get the more information regarding the content, or we can use the dictionaries to get the meaning or operational definition of the different terminologies. We can use the bibliography references from the different books or from the different research thesis dissertation, etc., to get or to locate or to find different literature, or we can use the citation index, etc., to get the literature. So primary, secondary, and tertiary, these three are the basic sources of literature. From these sources, we can collect so many literature for our review process, for our research agenda. And now I try to discuss how can we conduct the literature review. That is the roadmap of literature review. Basically, I try to discuss 9 different stages of conducting literature review. The first thing, while conducting literature review, we need to develop search terms. We need to develop the search terms. What terms? The terms which we need to clarify properly. We need to develop the search terms. As for example, let we have an example of research topic: relationship between head teacher leadership attributes and school climate. The topic is relationship between head teacher leadership attributes and school climate. In this specific research topic, we have so many terms like leadership attributes, head teacher leadership attributes, school climate, etc. First of all, before conducting literature review, we need to develop that sort of search terms from our research agenda, from our research topic. And we move to next one. We move to second one, that is search using terms. After developing the terms, then our task will be to search the literature using those specific terms. That is the second key step of conducting literature review. We try to source the literature by using the developed terms. That is the second step of conducting literature review. And then in the third step, identify initial primary source in the topic. When we source the literature by using the different terms related to our study topic, we can identify initial primary source in the topic. We can get documents, primary or secondary or tertiary documents. And after getting those documents, now our task will be to go through these documents, to read the documents, to visit the documents. And we may visit the abstract only if abstract is given in that particular document, or we may visit the possible additional section of the article, or additional section of the specific document, or other needy content as per our research agenda. So we need to go through the document. We need to visit the document. We need to read the document. That is the key fourth step of conducting literature review. And after reading the documents, now we move to fifth step. After reading the documents, we need to summarize. We need to summarize in paragraph. And we need to provide the citation as well. We need to put the citation as well. So the fifth step is summarize the content in a specific paragraph and provide the citation. That becomes the fifth step. And at the sixth step, we need to create a thematically focused summary of information. In fifth step, we can develop so many summaries of different documents or different reading content. Then after developing the summary, then in the sixth step, we need to create a thematically focused summary of the information. Thematically focused. We need to develop the proper theme for our study, and we need to write on that specific theme. As per example, in my previous example of research topic, relationship between head teacher leadership attributes and school climate, we can develop the theme like leadership attributes, head teacher leadership attributes, school climate, etc. We can organize the content in different theme in this sixth specific step. And then in the seventh step, we need to prepare for the first draft. Now we need to start the writing of literature review. So while preparing the first draft, we need to organize the reviewed literature properly. And then in this eighth step, we need to write the first draft. We need to write the first draft. We need to prepare the first draft of literature review. After developing the first draft of the literature review, we can get, or we can collect, or we can seek input from the supervisor, from the colleague, from the peer, etc. And then we need to refine it properly. We need to edit it properly. We need to read the proof, or we need to make it, we need to finalize it properly. So edit, proof, and polish. That is another important step of the literature review. In this way, developing source terms to edit, proof, and polish, up to these 9 steps, we can conduct the literature review. By using these stages, we can conduct the literature review. And generally, we can say these steps are the roadmap of literature review. There are so many forms of review, and we also provide the reason of using that forms of review. Specifically, we have different 4 forms of review. Generally, we conduct review under these four forms of review. And first one, that is the conceptual review. Conceptual review, we also use the phrase thematic review. Conceptual or thematic review. This setup review help us to to elaborate the content of our topic. For the content elaboration, for the topic elaboration, we need to conduct this sort of research. In my previous example, if we conduct the literature review on the topic relationship between head teacher leadership attributes and school climate, we need to conduct the literature. We need to conduct the literature review in different specific theme like leadership attribute, like head teacher leadership attribute, like school climate, etc. We need to develop the knowledge on these specific phrases or specific terms. That sort of review, that is known as what? Conceptual or thematic review. So through the conceptual review, through the thematic review, we develop the concept of the topic, resource topic. We elaborate the concept of the resource topic. We create the operational definition of the resource agenda. So conceptual or thematic review helps to elaborate the resource topic properly. And the second important review, that is the empirical review. Empirical review, which is also known as the review of the previous study. Review of the previous study. We try to visit different reports. We try to visit the thesis or dissertation. We try to visit the different journal, resource article, etc. And we try to find the different content used in that particular research. We try to find the different methods used in that particular research. We try to find the different findings or new insight from that special research, or we try to find the conclusion or implication of that particular research. So through the empirical review, generally we try to find the methodological as well as the finding part of the resource agenda. And through the empirical review, we can find the gap in knowledge properly. And after identifying the gap in knowledge, I already discussed about the gap in knowledge. That might be content gap, that might be context gap, that might be time gap, etc. And after getting this sort of gap, we can develop our research agenda properly. So empirical review help us to find the research gap properly. So it is related to the review of the previous studies. And another third one, very important literature, that is the theoretical review. We need to conduct a theoretical review. While talking about theoretical review, we need to clarify about the theory at first. Actually, theory is a set of principles on which the practice of an activity is based. Generally, that is known as a theory. And we also say theory is a supposition or system of idea which acts as a lens. Theory acts as a lens. Theory acts as a perspective. Theory acts as a thread. Theory acts as a viewpoints, or theory acts as a guideline. So, as per the nature of our research agenda, we try to find out different theories and we try to go through those theories and we try to find the essence of that particular theories and we try your best to use that theory in our research purpose. And we try to link the theory in our research purpose. While reviewing the theoretical part or theoretical document, we need to give the answer of three questions. What is theory? Why that theory is essential for our study? And how can we use that theory in our study? So in this way, we try to find the related theories with our resource agenda, and we try to write the review of the theories. So that is the theoretical review. And another specific review, that is the policy review. As per the nature of study topic, we need to identify the different policy. As for example, in my previous topic, the relationship between head teacher leadership attributes in school climate, while reviewing the head teacher leadership attributes, we need to visit the so many policy documents related to school leadership. We need to visit the policy related to school leadership. That might be, we can find the content in Education Act and Regulation. We can find the content in National Education Policy. We can find the content on other different policy. So as per the nature of our study content, we can identify, we can search, we can evaluate different policy document, and we need to go through the document, and we need to write the policy review. And while writing the policy review, we need to identify the policy gap as well, policy gap. And as per the policy, we can also analyze the practice part as well. So these four are the general forms of review which generally we need to conduct while conducting literature review: conceptual, empirical, theoretical, and policy. And why we use this such of literature, why we need to conduct the review, why review? Specifically, we need to give the three reasons. There are three specific reasons of conducting the review. First, literature review justify research need in the area. Major concern is literature review justify research need in the area. So justifying research need in the area, for this purpose, we need to conduct the literature review. And second important thing, to find the gap. Finding the gap of knowledge, finding the deficiency of knowledge. To finding the gap of knowledge, to finding the deficiency of knowledge, we need to conduct the literature review. And another important thing, that is identifying theoretical perspective. When we go through the different literature, we can identify the theory which theories which might help to guide our study, which might help to develop our research agenda. That theory might help to provide the lens, to provide the perspective, to provide the guideline, to provide the viewpoint, etc. So these three are the key reasons of conducting literature review: justifying research need in the area, finding the gap of knowledge, and identifying theoretical perspective. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you will provide the suggestion for the improvement. Thank you once again.